No matter how hard I study, school was really hard. Tests are really hard for me. I remember I was always dreaming about there's no time for me to finish the text. I finished the front side and then the time's up. But when I turn it back, it has like a whole page of another assignment. I'm just so scared. My name's Yimeng. I'm 26 years old. I go to School of Visual Arts. I study design and entrepreneurship, and I'm going to be evaluated for learning and attention issues. The first time I experienced that word, dyslexia, I was talking to my classmates in the kitchen. They were asking me, hey, Yimeng, did you read this book? I wanted to read, but I just somehow can't. They're so curious. They're so, why? If you want to read a book, why can't you? And they was like, you might have dyslexia. I was shocked because first of all, I don't know that word. I went back home and started Google dyslexia. They said, if you're dyslexic, it's hard for you to read. Well, that's definitely me. And you read slow, that's definitely me. And sometimes you confuse left and right. I do that all the time. And I have all of this. I want to make sure I have dyslexia. I struggled for a long time with no answer. I'm going to be evaluated. I am really nervous.
The thing that strikes me the most about Yimeng is that she is a young woman who really wants to find answers. What she wants to know is, why do I learn this way? Why am I having trouble in certain areas? Why does it seem so much harder for me than for other people? And the relief will come in just finding answers to understanding who she is. Adults are different than children in the evaluation process. In some ways, they're very motivated to come in, but they're also oftentimes more anxious. They've struggled with something for a very long time. Tell me a little bit about why you're here today.
It's mainly because I have a lot of trouble with reading.
What Yimeng can expect in the evaluation is that she's going to be doing a lot of different things. Because she's having issues with reading and math and written expression, we're going to do a lot of tests of writing and reading and math. We'll also do some tests of planning and organization. So all of those things will be part of the evaluation. And depending on how she does today will depend on what kind of tests I'll use. I'll be making decisions throughout the testing whether or not I need to do a little more of this or a little bit less of that. So what do you hope to get out of the evaluation today?
I want to know if I have it.
You mean that you really have dyslexia or not?
If
yes.
I have,
yes.
And then everything makes sense.
So I think you'll find that you'll have fun with a lot of it, and some of it you won't. But that's okay. the hard part will go faster than you think. Yimeng, you came to me wondering if you had a learning issue. You were correct. You do have dyslexia. But the other thing that sort of surprised me in your evaluation was that you do have some issues with attention that you mentioned yesterday, and that they are impairing enough that I would say that you also have a diagnosis of ADHD. One of the things the test results show is that you actually have a very good ability in math, but that I think some of the other challenges that we're going to talk about today will show why sometimes it feels like math is a struggle for you. Does that surprise you?
It surprised me a lot.
Having seen the test data itself makes her story all the more poignant for me to hear and think about. She was searching for something that could have been answered a long time ago, or a problem that could have been answered a long time ago.
I feel relieved. It's something that I expected. I have dyslexia. That's why my brain works differently than other people. Is there any recommendation that you can give it for me, and what should I do to improve all of this?
I think one of the first things to do is just sort of think about all of this for a while. But you kind of have to think about the things that I'm going to recommend are like a toolbox. And you don't take every tool out of the toolbox for everything. What I would suggest is thinking about how soon you want to do some strategies for reading. And I can talk to you then about getting support in that area of reading fluency. I think also thinking about whether or not you want to figure out how to sort of accommodate your working memory issues and executive function issues, and we can put that into place for you too. Part of it is up to you. Because you are a young adult, we don't have to worry about next school year. You can really think about, what do I want in order to be more successful in my job, or what would allow me to be happier in life even.
I feel relieved when I walk in the room and then I hear the result. Now I get answers. For now, my plan was really going back to China, and I really want to open my studio one day. I'm really happy to share the news that I have dyslexia. I will be able to tell my mother, my father, my sister that that's why I was so struggling in school. They don't even know what dyslexia is. Most importantly, it's for me. It helped me understand myself better.
Awareness is key. So just knowing who you are makes things better already. The most important thing we can learn from Yimeng's story is to not wait so long to get an evaluation. The risks of not getting an evaluation are pretty significant. I've heard kids describe it as if they're always walking uphill with a backpack on their back and everyone else is running downhill, always feeling not as good as someone else. Parents are afraid to seek the evaluation. They're afraid that the evaluation will lead their child to feel worse rather than better. It's still extremely helpful to get answers as to why you're struggling, and it is never too late to get support and accommodations for any issues that you've had throughout your life.
Be able to understand myself better. It's more about help me grow. It really helped me to go forward.